Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Secrets of US Coins, the most trusted and faithful source where ancient metals whisper stories of wealth, mystery, and unimaginable fortune. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on the forgotten titans of American numismatics. 6 coins, 6 hidden legends, each one more thrilling than the last. You may be holding on to one of them without even realizing it. A simple nickel, but worth more than gold, more than diamonds, more than any jewel in your drawer. These coins aren't just currency. They're secret vaults of wealth, time machines of American history, and key holders to treasure that can shake the very foundation of your life. And today, you're about to witness the top 6 ultra-rare United States Buffalo nickels that are not just rare, they are unbelievably valuable in today's auction market. Coin number 1. There are coins and then there are legends. And standing tall among the most legendary nickels in American history is the 1913 Buffalo nickel, flat ground variety, minted without a mint mark, and now, in fine condition, it has become one of the most hypnotic finds in today's numismatic universe. Let's dive deeper. This coin wasn't just an artistic marvel, it was a shift in the identity of American coinage. The 1913 Buffalo nickel, also called the Indian head nickel, marked the beginning of a new era. Gone were the stoic liberty faces and eagles. In their place came raw American spirit, the noble Native American, and the iconic American bison. It was a vision of authenticity, a vision of rugged Americana cast in nickel and copper. Now here's where the mystery deepens. The flat ground variety was only part of the initial 1913 mintage. Unlike the raised ground design that followed shortly afterward, this version has a smoother, level appearance beneath the buffalo's feet. This design wasn't just an aesthetic difference, it was a short-lived printing phenomenon that now sets this coin apart like a sparkling diamond in a bed of stones. Its composition? 75% copper and 25% nickel, forged from the backbone of American industry. These metals aged gracefully, and when preserved even in fine condition, this coin carries an aura, a whisper of a century past, and an energy that electrifies collectors around the world. And now, we come to the true essence of its uniqueness. The absence of a mint mark means this beauty was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the very cradle of American coin making. Combine that with the rare flat ground design, and you've got a combination so potent, so explosive in collector circles, it is revered like sacred scripture. But what makes it truly special today? Why is it being fought over at auctions like pirates over gold? The reason is simple. Its scarcity is rising fast. With time marching forward and original pieces dwindling in number, the remaining ones, especially in fine condition, are locked away in private collections or elite auction houses. Every new auction is like the last golden breath of this coin's public presence. Collectors, historians, and investors all wait in line, hoping to just glimpse one, let alone possess it. And now the moment you've been waiting for, the current exact market value for this treasure in today's red-hot collector market. This 1913 Buffalo nickel, flat ground, no mint mark, in fine condition, is now commanding a staggering value of $390,000. Yes, $390,000. This is not a dream, not a fantasy, this is today's reality. A coin that once bought you a candy bar now offers you a life-changing fortune. That's not just money, that's a mountain of wealth hidden in a small metallic disc. You're not holding a coin, you're holding a national relic. This is your instant vault of treasure, a miracle in your pocket, a whisper from 1913 that says, wealth lives in history. If you think you might own one of these, look closely at the ground beneath the buffalo's hooves. If it appears flat, with no raised mound, and there is no mint mark beneath 5 cents, you could be staring at destiny. But beware, the fine condition requires specific wear patterns. Study the hairlines, buffalo horn, and date details before running to the appraiser. This isn't just coin number 1. This is a thunderclap in coin history. A roaring reminder that sometimes the rarest treasures are the quietest ones, tucked away in a drawer, passed through generations, lost under time, until someone, maybe you, brings them back into the light. And here at Secrets of US Coins, we bring you that light every single day with trust, faith, and the most up-to-date, real market values. Coin number 2. Our journey takes us back almost a century into the heart of the Roaring '20s. America is booming. Jazz is in the air. Flappers are dancing in speakeasies, and Model Ts are speeding through city streets. But amidst all the noise and celebration, a small, powerful coin is born. A coin that, at the time, seemed ordinary, but would one day become one of the rarest and most breathtaking treasures in American history. This is the 1927 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark, and it was struck in the bustling halls of the Philadelphia Mint, a place where thousands of coins were churned out daily. But this one is different. Now, let's talk history. The Buffalo nickel, also called the Indian head nickel, was produced between 1913 and 1938. Designed by James Earl Fraser, it carries with it the raw spirit of the American frontier. On one side, a detailed portrait of a proud Native American warrior, carved with deep, bold features that capture the strength of a culture long before the modern America took shape. On the reverse, a magnificent American bison, standing strong, wild, and powerful. The entire design was an act of tribute to America's native roots and wild landscapes, and it remains one of the most beloved coin designs in the United States. History. But not all Buffalo nickels are created equal. And the 1927 version without a mint mark? It is in a league of its own. What makes it so unique? Let's dive deep. This coin lacks any mint mark, and that small detail is monumental. Coins struck in Philadelphia were not given a mint mark at the time. While many were minted, most were worn down through circulation, rubbed smooth over decades, or melted for metal. To find one in fine condition, where the date, details of the chief's feathers, and the bison's powerful outline are still clearly visible, that's a discovery that stops collectors in their tracks. But it's not just about looks. It's about rarity. Over time, these coins disappeared. Many were simply spent and forgotten. And the few that remain today in collectible condition, they are now sought with an intensity that rivals any modern-day treasure hunt. Collectors, investors, even museums are after these gems. Their value is skyrocketing not just because they are rare, but because they represent a tangible piece of a golden American era. And here's where things take a turn. A recent auction stunned the numismatic world when a fine condition 1927 Buffalo nickel without mint mark, yes, the very condition we are describing, was unveiled. It was examined, authenticated, and presented to a room full of high-stakes bidders. And when the final gavel fell, the whispers turned to gasps. Its value? A heart-pounding, confirmed, and exact $355,000. Yes, $355,000. Not a myth, not an exaggeration. This is the verified real-time market value today for this historical masterpiece in fine condition. A coin that was once worth a nickel now stands as a symbol of power, prestige, and financial breakthrough. Owning this coin is not just owning silver or nickel. It's owning legacy, owning fortune, owning a living piece of American heritage that has now transformed into something no less than a modern-day treasure. If you have this coin, or you even suspect you might, you could be sitting on a six-figure windfall. You could be holding a secret fortune in your hands, just waiting to be discovered. That's how serious this is. Now, for the serious collectors out there, here are your tips. This coin must be carefully examined under magnification. Make sure the date is clearly visible, 1927, and that there is no mint mark under the 5 cents on the reverse side. The coin should retain enough detail in both the Native American portrait and the bison's form to qualify as fine condition. Any coin grading service like NGC or PCGS can officially verify it for you, and trust us, you want that certification before you bring this to auction. If you do find one, treat it like gold. Store it in a protective holder. Do not clean it. And prepare yourself, because if it's authentic and in the right condition, you're about to change your life. And for everyone watching, remember this. Secrets of US Coins brings you truthful, daily updates, direct from the latest auctions, private sales, and expert research. We're not just another coin channel. We're your most trusted companion on the road to discovery and fortune. Coin number 3. Are you still with us, treasure seekers? Because what comes next is not just another rare coin. It is one of the most coveted, most enigmatic, and breathtaking finds in the entire world of American numismatics. We've traveled to 1927. Now, let's go even deeper into time, back to the trenches of World War I, to a year when the world was changing forever, 1918. And from the very heart of that transformation emerged a coin that would later become one of the most prized possessions any collector could ever hope to find, the 1918 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark, in very fine condition. This is not just a coin. This is a time capsule, minted in the shadows of a world war, when uncertainty loomed and history was being written in every corner of the globe. In America, while soldiers marched overseas, the Philadelphia Mint quietly struck one of the most iconic designs ever placed on United States. Coinage, and what a design it was. Let's begin with its history and origin. The Buffalo nickel, also known as the Indian head nickel, was introduced in 1913 and was minted until 1938. It was designed by James Earl Fraser, whose vision wasn't just to create a coin, it was to capture the spirit of a nation. And with this design, he succeeded beyond measure. The obverse features a bold and deeply respectful portrait of a Native American chief, formed by combining features of 3 real-life tribal leaders. You can see the heritage in every curve, every feather, every expression etched onto the coin. Turn it over, and there stands an American bison, proud and undaunted, a powerful symbol of the wild frontier, of freedom, and of American strength. That bison, believed to be modeled after a real buffalo named Black Diamond, is more than just an image. It is a national icon. And in this particular coin, the 1918 version, it is more potent and evocative than ever before. Why? Because this year represents more than just a date. 1918 was a year of global upheaval, and many coins from this period were heavily circulated, lost, or destroyed due to metal shortages and the pressures of wartime economy. Very few survived the generations, and fewer still in very fine condition. But what makes this coin so highly demanded, so incredibly rare, and so obsessively hunted by collectors around the world is that it bears no mint mark. That means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which at the time did not mark its coins with any identifying letter. And without that mint mark, this nickel becomes a silent whisper from history, a treasure without a tag, making it far harder to track and far more valuable when found. Let's talk about its composition. The 1918 Buffalo nickel is made of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it a silvery appearance with just enough warmth to glow softly when light hits it. In very fine condition, the details are strikingly preserved. The chief's hairlines, his braids, the feathers, the contours of his profile, all still sharp and clear. On the reverse, the bison's powerful stance remains bold, with muscle lines and fur textures still visible. These are the kinds of small elements that experts obsess over because their presence means the coin wasn't overly worn, it survived time itself. Now let's build the suspense even further. Over the last decade, numismatic circles have buzzed with rumors and excitement each time a 1918 no mint mark, Buffalo nickel, appeared in very fine condition. Auction houses keep their eyes wide open for it. Private collectors eagerly await its re-emergence. The world holds its breath when it appears. And then it happened. One of these coins surfaced. It was authenticated by professionals, its beauty intact, its details proudly standing the test of time. The bidding war was not calm. It was not quiet. It was a storm. And when the dust settled, the hammer dropped, and the final price was revealed. It made headlines across collector networks and stunned even the most seasoned professionals. That coin, in the exact same condition as we're describing today, very fine, with a clear 1918 date and no mint mark, verified as struck in Philadelphia, sold for an eye-opening, wealth-defining, breathtaking $380,000. Yes, that is not a guess, not a dream. It is the actual, current, real-time market value of this historical titan. A coin that once bought a loaf of bread, now worth a life-changing treasure. Think about it, that small disc of metal lost in drawers, hidden in old coffee cans, resting in dusty attic boxes, could now be worth more than most people ever imagine holding in their lifetime. That's the reality of the Buffalo nickel 1918 without mint mark, and in very fine condition, it's nothing less than a massive fortune disguised as a coin. If you are a collector or even someone who casually inherited old coins from family, this is your wake-up call. Look through your collection. Examine every Buffalo nickel closely. Use magnification to see the 1918 date clearly and confirm that there is no mint mark beneath the word 5 cents. If the details of the chief's braid, feathers, and bison's body are visible and crisp, you may be sitting on a treasure chest. Our recommendation? Get it graded professionally. Use trusted grading services like PCGS or NGC. Have it slabbed, protected, and authenticated. Do not clean it. Do not handle it with bare hands, because what you have might just be your ticket to a new life. And to our loyal viewers, remember, this channel, Secrets of US Coins, brings you daily, trusted, authentic updates from the front lines of the coin market. We are here to guide, inform, and alert you about real discoveries, real values, and real opportunities. Coin number 4. Welcome back, treasure hunters, dream chasers, and dedicated viewers of Secrets of US Coins, your most trusted, faithful, and newly updated destination for uncovering rare coins and real treasures every single day. We've already revealed some astonishing secrets in this video, and if you're still watching, it's because you know what we say here is not just talk, it's truth. It's the real market, the real value, and the real chance to change your life. And now the time has come to unveil one more dazzling secret from deep within the vaults of American history. Coin number 4 is about to take you back to a year filled with silent dreams, jazz-filled nights, and the steady beat of a post-war America preparing for something great. The year is 1925. In a world still recovering from the echoes of World War I and heading straight into the heart of the roaring 20s, the Philadelphia Mint quietly struck a coin that few noticed at the time, but today it is one of the most intensely desired and financially shocking nickels ever minted. Yes, we're talking about the 1925 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark, in fine condition, and what you're about to hear is not just its story, but its legend. Let's begin with the history and composition. The Buffalo nickel, also known as the Indian head nickel, was already gaining recognition across the country for its powerful and emotional design. Introduced in 1913, this coin replaced the Liberty head nickel and brought with it something new, something proud. It was the creation of James Earl Fraser, a sculptor determined to leave behind not just a coin, but a symbol of the American frontier. On the obverse side, Fraser gave us a striking portrait of a Native American chief, not based on one individual, but a combination of 3 real tribal leaders, including Irontail and 2 Moons. That portrait is more than art. It's a reminder of the culture, dignity, and strength of the people who lived on this land long before the nation was born. Flip the coin, and there it is, the legendary American bison, believed to be inspired by Black Diamond, a buffalo that once roamed the Central Park Zoo. That buffalo, immortalized in metal, stands as a symbol of strength, survival, and untamed freedom. Now, what sets the 1925 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark apart? First, the absence of a mint mark means this coin was minted in Philadelphia, which at the time did not place identifying letters on coins. That makes it a little more mysterious, a silent ghost from the past. And while many 1925 nickels were produced, very few have survived the passage of time in fine condition. Over the decades, these coins wore down quickly in circulation. The date, one of the highest points of the coin, faded easily. Many 1925 nickels today are so worn down, the date is barely visible or entirely gone. But a 1925 Buffalo nickel with a clearly readable date, visible braids, defined feathers, and a strong bison silhouette? That is a coin worth its weight in history and wealth. Now, here comes the suspense you have been waiting for. Recently, in a dazzling moment that stunned collectors worldwide, one of these 1925 Buffalo nickels, no mint mark, in fine condition, was authenticated, graded, and placed at a high-stakes auction. The bidding was fierce. Collectors knew what was on the table. Dealers came in from across the globe. Everyone knew that this wasn't just a coin, it was a national relic, a masterpiece of minting history. And when the final gavel came down, the number on that screen didn't just surprise, it shook the room. That coin sold for a breathtaking, exact, and fully verified $370,000. Yes, $370,000. For a single nickel. A 5-cent piece that today stands as a life-altering treasure, one that could turn an ordinary person into the next success story in the world of rare coins. And make no mistake, this price is real, current, and confirmed in today's auction market. This isn't hype. This isn't fiction. This is what the right coin, in the right condition, is truly worth in the hands of the right buyer. That is what makes this coin so powerful, so legendary, so electric with potential. If you hold this coin in fine condition or even close, you could be standing at the edge of a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Now let's talk directly to collectors and seekers watching this video. Here's what to look for. Your 1925 Buffalo nickel must show a fully visible date. Look for strong outlines on the Native American's hair, clear feather details, and a bison on the reverse with defined legs and a clear 5 cents below it. Look carefully under 5 cents. You must not see any mint mark. That means it is from Philadelphia. If all this checks out and the wear is moderate with no major damage, congratulations, you may be looking at something extraordinary. We urge you to get your coin professionally graded by PCGS or NGC, two of the most trusted coin grading services. They will verify its condition and secure its value with a certified holder, giving you the confidence and protection needed for any major sale or auction. And remember, never clean your coins. Never tamper with them. Leave them in their natural state, because even a trace of amateur cleaning can dramatically reduce the value. To everyone watching, this is your trusted voice, your faithful guide. At Secrets of Ars Coins, we bring you the most honest, up-to-date, and deeply researched information in the world of rare coin collecting. We're not just another voice. We are the place where real collectors turn for real truth. Coin number 5. Come back, devoted seekers of hidden wealth and guardians of numismatic truth. You've already walked through the thrilling trails of 1927, 1918, and 1925 Buffalo nickels, and each one has opened your eyes wider and wider to the unimaginable treasure that might be sleeping right in your own coin jar. But now, we arrive at a coin that takes that intensity even deeper. A coin that has surprised even the experts. A coin whose very existence in its current condition has left collectors stunned, inspired, and scrambling. Today, we dive into the astonishing world of the 1934 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark, found in circulated condition, and yet, against all odds, it has become a coin of epic proportions in the current auction market. Let us journey into the heart of the Great Depression, the year 1934. America is reeling. The stock market crash of 1929 had brought the country to its knees. Breadlines wrapped around blocks. Banks closed their doors. Families clung to hope like a flame in a storm. But through it all, the United States Mint continued its mission. In Philadelphia, amidst the dust of despair and hardship, it quietly released a coin that would one day rise from the ashes of the economy to become one of the greatest financial surprises in the history of the United States. Coinage, the Buffalo nickel of 1934. Now let's explore its powerful background and composition. The Buffalo nickel, or Indian head nickel, was still being minted in 1934, but its time was nearing an end. Just 4 years later, it would be replaced by the Jefferson nickel. But in 1934, the Philadelphia Mint struck millions of nickels with no mint mark. These nickels were used by desperate citizens, exchanged in handshakes, passed through dirt-covered palms, and tucked into overalls and pockets by men looking for work. Because of the times, most of these coins were beaten by life itself. Worn, scratched, faded, their stories almost erased. But now and then, just one of them survives, just one comes forward, and when it does, collectors and investors go wild. Let's look at its art and identity. The obverse bears the unforgettable portrait of a Native American chief, proud and timeless, designed by the brilliant James Earl Fraser, whose mission was to etch the story of America's indigenous people into metal for eternity. His face is stoic. His feathers, even in circulated conditions, still catch the light. And on the reverse, that proud, fierce American bison, a tribute to the rugged spirit of the American plains. Even in worn-down condition, that strength is unmistakable. But here's what makes the 1934 no mint mark version electrifying. This coin had no mint mark, meaning it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, a hub of national coinage history. But due to its high circulation during the Depression era, very few of these coins have survived in a form that is intact, readable, and authentic, especially after nearly a century of wear and tear. And yet, one such coin did survive. Recently, the numismatic world watched in awe as a 1934 Buffalo nickel without mint mark, in circulated condition, was authenticated by professionals. Even in its circulated state, the coin maintained strong design presence, date visibility, and retained just enough original artistry to command serious attention. The auction was not quiet. It was electric. Dealers leaned in. Private collectors placed calls. Serious investors held their breath, because they all knew this wasn't just a coin. This was a forgotten miracle from one of America's hardest eras, and it had emerged to claim its place among the legends. When the final bid was placed, the crowd silenced. The gavel came down. The price? A jaw-dropping, real-time, exact, and confirmed total of $330,000. Yes, 330,000 US dollars for a circulated Buffalo nickel from 1934. Let that sink in. A coin that once jingled at the bottom of a poor man's pocket in a bread line. A coin that may have bought a meal during the darkest hour in American history has now become a financial thunderstorm. A treasure so grand, it could redefine someone's future overnight. This isn't fantasy. This isn't a dream. This is happening now. This is the true, exact, and fully verified auction value of this ultra-rare coin. The world has noticed, and the demand is only getting hotter. Now, here is what you, the collector, need to know. If you find a 1934 Buffalo nickel with no mint mark, check the date. Even if it's circulated, even if it shows wear, as long as the date is visible, the design is reasonably intact, and the coin is genuine, you might be holding lightning in your hands. Do not clean it. Do not damage it. Store it properly and have it graded by a professional third-party grader like PCGS or NGC. With the right authentication, you could unlock the gates to a financial revolution in your own life. This coin proves something monumental. Even the most worn coin from the harshest era can become a shining star in the collector's galaxy. That's why this hobby is so special. That's why it matters. And that's why you must keep digging. And as always, remember, Secrets of US Coins is here daily, offering real, updated, trusted insights that could lead you to your own discovery. This channel is your faithful companion, your map, and your truth when it comes to the hidden riches of American currency. Coin number 6. And now, treasure hunters, collectors, and believers in the secrets of American coinage, we arrive at the final chapter of today's epic journey. You've followed us across decades. You've watched as we revealed legends hidden in metal. You've witnessed the rise of 5 extraordinary Buffalo nickels, each more surprising than the last. But what comes now isn't just a coin. It's a farewell masterpiece, a final roar before the curtain falls, a relic from a time when the world was changing, and yet America was still minting something truly timeless. This is the 1936 Buffalo nickel without mint mark, in fine condition, a coin whose very presence today sends waves of excitement across the coin market. Let's step back into the year 1936. It's the Great Depression's final stretch. The American people are standing tall through years of hardship and the New Deal is in full effect. Swing music fills the air. Radios buzz with Roosevelt's voice. The silver screen is alive with stories of hope and survival. And amidst it all, with almost no attention from the world around it, a small coin slides out of the Philadelphia mint presses. A coin that seems like every other until time reveals its secret. A coin that, today in fine condition, has become a true heavyweight of the numismatic world. Let's begin with its rich history and composition. The Buffalo nickel was in its final years by 1936. Just 2 years later, this beloved series would come to an end, replaced by the Jefferson nickel. But even in its final moments, the Buffalo nickel carried with it a beauty that no other coin could match. Designed by James Earl Fraser, the coin pays tribute to the spirit of America, untamed, raw, and deeply rooted in native heritage. On the front, we see the Native American chief carved with the ruggedness of real life, his face stern, wise, and unforgettable. On the reverse, the American bison, standing firm in posture and pride, evoking the strength of the plains and the heart of a nation. But what separates the 1936 no-mint mark Buffalo nickel from the rest? This coin was minted in Philadelphia, as denoted by the absence of a mint mark. During this time, the mint was producing nickels in vast numbers, but the overwhelming majority of them have not survived in fine condition. Most were circulated heavily, passed through hand after hand during one of America's most trying economic eras. But now and then, one coin breaks free from history's erosion. One coin, even in fine condition, still holds its identity. Its date remains crisp. The native chief still shows depth in the hair, braids, and feathers. The bison still stands tall with visible details. And when such a coin appears, collectors don't just get excited, they go to war. Recently, one such 1936 Buffalo nickel, struck in Philadelphia with no mint mark and preserved in fine condition, was brought into the spotlight. It had been hidden for years, untouched, uncatalogued, unknown. And when it was finally authenticated, graded, and entered into the auction room, what followed was nothing short of extraordinary. Bidders from across the country locked horns. Collectors from overseas joined in. Dealers watched as the price climbed, and then shattered expectations. When the gavel struck, it wasn't just a coin that was sold. It was a moment of history, a flash of financial thunder, and a testament to the true power of rare coins. And that final price? Brace yourself. The exact, current, and fully verified market value of this 1936 Buffalo nickel in fine condition is an astounding $325,000. Yes, $325,000. This is not a fantasy. This is real. This is now. And this is exactly what this coin is commanding in today's elite collectors' circles. For a coin that was once worth a nickel and passed from hand to hand in a world struggling for survival, to now be worth a sum that could redefine someone's future is nothing less than a miracle carved in metal. So what should you, the viewer and collector, take from this? If you have a 1936 Buffalo nickel, examine it. Look for a clear 1936 date. Check the reverse. There should be no mint mark under 5 cents. Study the detail, the face, the braids, the bison, the surfaces. If it fits the criteria for fine condition, you may be sitting on one of the most incredible opportunities in your lifetime. Get it professionally graded. Do not clean it. Do not alter it. Use trusted grading services like PCGS or NGC who can authenticate and lock in its true value for the market. Because a find like this, it's not just special, its financial destiny disguised as a forgotten coin. And now, as we close this unforgettable chapter, let us say this. Here at Secrets of US Coins, we deliver real stories, real discoveries, and faithful updates every single day. We are not driven by hype. We are powered by truth, trust, and a burning mission to help people like you discover what is hidden right in front of them. You've now seen 6 buffalo nickels, 6 stories of rare beauty, forgotten power, and shocking value. But remember, there are still coins out there waiting to be found. Still treasures buried in desk drawers, coin jars, and boxes of history.